This is a special episode brought to you by Infinity Learn. Today we have an exceptional guest with us, whom I had a privilege of working with, who not only brings with him a wealth of experience and insights in the field of education, but is a master storyteller. Please welcome the very inspiring Ujjwal Singh, founding CEO of Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. With a passion for tech innovation and 25 years of experience in the education sector, Ujjwal strongly believes in modernizing education and breaking the barriers of conventional education systems. Currently, he heads Infinity Learn, an outcome-based learning EdTech startup by Sri Chaitanya Group. At the company's helm, Ujjwal is responsible for the overall management of brand, ensuring that its mission and vision are successfully implemented across the operations. Hi Ujjwal, welcome to Leadership Lessons.
Hi, and thank you so much for inviting.
So first things first, Ujjwal, what is Infinity Learn and what problem are you really solving?
When we started Infinity Learn, COVID phase one was almost over, and we looked at the market and saw that there are 7,000 plus edtech companies in the market. Market was flooded with edtech companies. But one thing which was missing in the edtech arena was that once I learned something over a tech platform, do I actually retain it? Do I actually deliver outcomes on that learning? I think that's where it was the birth of Infinity Learn happens. And the name itself was a different story altogether. But the whole discussion, everything was around if you can't deliver, outcomes over technology, then there's no point opening a one more edtech. And that's the work which we started doing, going back inside schools and checking, saying that what is how offline is delivering result and why online is not delivering result. We took 6 months to worked on a stealth mode before we came out and said, okay, we understand how do you deliver result. This journey is lifelong.
Interesting. So you saying, Ujjwal, that technology is at the forefront, right, of your learning approach, if I may say so.
True.
So, how are you leveraging this technology to empower learners and bridging this learning gap that we see?
So if you look at how offline works students inside the classroom. There are always teachers' favorites, students are understanding. But what happens to the larger mass? The in the class, if there are 40 students, what happens to the 40th student? If I have got 60 out of 100, what happens to that 60 out of 100 student? Where did he lose that 40 marks? One of the things which technology helped us do, and if you compare this to pharma, today if you take a drop of blood, do a blood test, everything, doctor knows everything about the body.
Right.
But we're taking so many tests and we're unable to tell the child where are you lacking, because that's the dilemma of the industry. And that's where the technology will become more and more helpful, because then you do assessment for learning. So you assess the student first, find out where he needs to learn. This whole concept or padho, if you have got 60 out of 100, the child is thinking, I'm anyway studying 4 to 5 hours, I don't enjoy it beyond that. What do I study more? And I think if we go and say, oh, actually, on this particular small place, you have made three different kinds of. So in the angles, acute angle, you made two mistakes. Just learn acute angle, read it once more, and watch a video. Then you are doing a pinpointed solution to help the child to move from 60 to 65, then 65 to 70. I think that's where technology plays a big role, to understand where the learner is at present, what kind of mistakes is he making, and then go and help the learner. Now, if he wants to do 10 more questions to practice that, allow him to do that. If he wants to watch just a 2-minute video to do that, allow him to do that. If he wants to go through the whole chapter, maybe a flashcard to read, but let him decide how he wants to learn, provide him the adequate resources. And if he is not doing it, nudge him, saying that you did not score in your first exam on angles. In your second exam, again, you have made the same 2 or 3 kinds of mistake. You should watch this video. You should make some practice questions. I think that's the role of technology overall, how we foresee it, is that technology is far, far more practically, possibly has a widespread to nudge people to say that you have to do this. It's a system driven thing. Bring wherever somebody has made a mistake, bring the resource immediately in front of them saying that you made this mistake, watch this, instead of human trying to do the same thing for every learner, which is we call personalized learning, is just not humanly possible. And that's why you'll see inside a classroom there are some students who are really doing good, some are doing average, and some are not doing good. I think students who are left behind, technology is the really good friend of them. Students who are average, technology is a really good friend. Some students will anyway do good. Teachers are helping them, society is helping them, parents are helping them. They are really good students. I think, how do we bring everybody nearer to each other? How do we build the peer cohort, which is understanding, learning, having discussion? I think that's what technology can do.
Absolutely. I mean, completely agree, Ujjwal. But my question would be, and you spoke about personal learning journeys or personal learning path for the students, but so is many other edtechs offering, right? So whether it's new age, I mean, the newer companies which have come, especially after the pandemic, or the old ones like Byju's and an academy. So how do you, like, as Infinity Learn, how do you differentiate versus them when providing these kind of solutions?
Thank you so much for asking this. Uh, One, there are three, four things. I'm not going to stop at one on this. Uh, education is a very credibility business.
Right.
So there are two, three things. When we worked in Pearson, people used to say that 1 in a million companies survive 50 years, 1 in a billion companies survives 200 years. So earning parent trust is not so easy. Tomorrow morning, if you have to get your son or daughter to a school, you look around and say, which is the best school? How do you get admission there? All those things. So building credibility, and we have the unfair advantage on that, because against everybody, people can spend money, a lot of money, but our parent company is available in the market. Say Chaitanya Group is in the market for last 40 years. Build credibility of producing results year after year, year after year. We went and learned from them. We did not start it just like that, one more EdTech. And that's why I was telling in the beginning that outcomes was so very critical. Now, let me take a few examples for you to understand that when we looked at and say that why online companies are unable to produce results. We busted three myths. Myth number one, star faculty will produce results. No, most of the star faculty was actually doing entertainment over actual education. So star faculty can't. And if you look around offline last 10 years, there's no star faculty concept. You would never see Chaitanya or Alan or Akash will give faculty posters in their advertisements ever. They realize that good faculty need not to be star faculty. Star faculty is faculty which produces results. Second is that Zoom is not EdTech. What happens before the class and what happens after that class and what happens during the class has a huge role to play. So a lot of people thought, just put a Zoom, just do a live class, and that will become an EdTech. I think that's not going to be an EdTech. And it's busted, and it will further bust further. I think the third most important thing which we learned is that the teacher and student on a live, whether it is in physical classroom or on an online class, is only 35 to 40% of the overall learning environment. The rest 60% is a lot of things which is happening outside the class. So they are the three big things which is we learned and we implemented. No star faculty, have a platform which actually helps learning, and don't only bank on faculty based classroom, but do a lot more things. I think the second thing is we understood learners much better than most of the other edtechs. We asked the students to set their goals because we prepare on JE and NEET mainly. So we asked the students to set their goals. Now we have last 15 years question wise data available, and we can start seeing a start forecasting that okay, how will this student go? Will he qualify in the top 10,000, top 1,000, or between 10,000 to 1 lakh? And what kind of help and support we start giving, if he has potential, how much time is he learning? And we tell them also in orientation that your behavior, we call it learning behavior tracking, your behavior, we track it. Basis your behavior, how are you participating inside classroom, how much time are you watching videos, what kind of tests you are taking, each and everything we track. And that helps us to help the learner to set the right goals for themselves. So it is not that everybody aspiring for IIT. They are also saying that, okay, can I get, a PSET seat, or BITS Hyderabad seat in, because I know that employment will happen on those colleges, and I'm very happy to get a good seat there as well. So setting goal, must busting this myths, which is critical, and then getting some of the offline behaviors online. Like every Sunday there will be a test, every Sunday, and there will be a 4 hour analysis on the test on Monday morning. Now, this is like a routine which offline industry, at least we learned from Chaitanya, and we just implemented this as it is, and it is giving us good results. Just 2-3 days back, I was in Patna. This year, the International Math Olympiad from Bihar, there's only one student qualified, and that student comes from our platform. So I think this is very critical for people to understand that EdTech has to learn a lot more from offline. And if you are not producing results, it's not going to be any different than a Zoom call. So that we learned a lot, and we bought slowly and gradually build a platform which actually mimics the offline, but has an ability to personalize further.
Okay, got it. So, Ujjwal, yes, you have spoken a lot of things about how the learning gaps are addressed through your platform. And what I'm going to, ask you is like, just step back a bit and let's look at the larger problem which Indian education system faces today, right? And especially a recent National Achievement Survey of 2021 spoke about foundational level literacy and numeracy gaps, especially within grade 3 students. Now, in such a situation where at one end you have edtechs or the educational institutions addressing or providing a lot of solutions, but at the other side, equally, there are so many foundational gaps that which are seeing in India's education system. How do you see this dichotomy play out, and where does this Infinity Learn kind of address some of these issues that India today faces?
There are two things which is growing in this country. One is learning gaps, grade 1 to 8, big time, and one is the digital divide. After pandemic, that also was a big issue. Let's talk about learning gaps to start with. Yatin, you would remember while we were working in Pearson, I used to talk about this, that math as a subject is a carrier for two skills. Math carries two skills, like English as a subject carries communication. Yeah. So through the language, we are learning communication. So through math, it was logical reasoning and problem solving. They're the two skills. A lot of people think math as a subject, why should I learn math? No, you're not learning math. Through the math, the mental brainwaves are growing to be far more logical and problem solving. And that is why, if you see very indirect correlation, people who are qualifying in IIT, going to a problem solving role, they are solving better problems and they're doing innovation. This is also correlated. So as science is a critical thinking skills and inquiry skills. The subject's birth happened saying that we can't start telling people that, okay, you have to ask the right questions. So you build a subject called science, and then, inquiry as a skill will go. I think the learning gaps on a subject says that, logical reasoning is going down, problem solving skills is going down, or critical thinking is going down. And I've been talking about this for last 8-10 years now, saying that it is not new. There are some students who are doing better than others. How do we see that education system can help most of the students? I understand some will go into form of art and drama, and those skills will be higher than these skills. But from buying vegetables to running your house, math is like a critical skill. You are continuously, doing a logical thinking while you are driving, or you have to be at home and solving problems. And that's why we ourselves say that foundational skills on grade 1 to 5, if we can teach those skills and try to help the learner, not from a point of view of math or science, then to say that, can I teach you critical thinking skills? Now think about it. One of the chapters we run called facts versus opinions. Now in the society which we are living in, where WhatsApp has a university, you don't know that information which is coming to you, is it a fact or an opinion? So how do you judge them? Now, these are very small things, but in next 10 years time, these are will be most critical things, saying that how logical reasoning and critical thinking skills will help me and to lead my life any better. Uh, so that's what we do from grade 1 to 5. Then 5 to 8, we slowly and gradually start converting and seeing that if this child has built this, what are the learning gaps? Because when we started this company, we realized that children who are coming in 9th and 10th, they have huge learning gaps because COVID 2 3 years, world is saying it might take up to 2040 to finish the learning gaps which we are seeing among children. And through this medium, I will request, because we alone won't be able to impact the rest of the society. There are so many players. If everybody focuses that math is a vehicle through which you are teaching certain skills, or science is a vehicle through which you're teaching certain skills, if we can do that, I think that will be fantastic.
Interesting. So related, the new education policy has been approved now by the government and will be implemented. So my question, I'm firstly, do you think that the new education policy in that sense addresses some of the issues that you just, or the challenges that you just spoke about? And also give a flavor in terms of where will Infinity Learn fit into this overall education model that the government is proposing?
So there are two parts to it. One is Infinity Learn, one is my personal
Yeah.
perspective. I'm also running a rural school uh, near Varanasi. So when I was in this school few days back, and I was talking about the education policy, how it's going to impact us. Uh, I think the skills has at once taken over subjects. I really love this aspect of NEP 2020. I really love this aspect because uh, the more and more skills, thinking skills, problem solving skills, using technology to solve skills are getting discussed in every forum. I'm really happy to see that. I think communication as a skill, if that can also go, I do understand. We should know mother tongue, we should know Hindi, we should know everything. But we realize we as a country are growing and becoming a global acceptance, because we Indians speak good English vis-a-vis most of the other part of the world, and that has helped us at least for last 15-20 years. uh, I know there's a lot of focus, and I don't think I'm disrespecting any other language, but I'm saying that apart from one or two local languages, national language, can we also have English in the focus area? Because the citizens of tomorrow will be talking globally, and we will need that as a skill. So I think in NAP 2020, I'm very happy on those math and science skills, social studies skills, art and drama skills. If communication can also get a little more focus, that will be really great. And that's my personal perspective as a from a school running point of view. Uh, as Infinity Learn, we are fully aligned, because we think 9 to 12th is where actually NAP enables. We 1 to 8 is foundational skill. We are fully aligned there. Our skills based teaching is fully aligned. But now when we come to 9, 10th, 11th, 12th, with this new sets of changes which is happening, that who will give the board exam, when will the board exam happen, there will be far more easy flow from 9 to 12th. And to say that if if the examination bodies are aligned to say that this is the syllabus on which the exam will happen, then we get more time to build the foundational skills. So ninth and 11th are very much correlated, 10th and 12th are correlated. How do you build foundation in ninth and 10th so that 11th and 12th become easier? I'm not saying it will become very easy, be easier, so that when the child appears for the test, his performance is better. We as a company, we are very excited about this because this gives us more flexibility to build the foundation from 1 to 8, and then 9 to 12th a very seamless journey where the child is learning and not worried that every 2 years I have another board exam and I have to take that board exam. I think that's where we feel very happy about the new journey.
Okay, great. So, Ujjwal, I now want to shift the focus of this kind of discussion to Ujjwal as a person and as a leader. Uh, so, I've known you, and I've known you as a, if I may say so, an unconventional leader who's a more of a creative risk taker. Um, my question to you, Ujjwal, now that you've been in this education industry and done journey through various corporates, what really drives you, as a person, as a leader? And if you were to tell us a few leadership mantras, what would they be?
What drives me personally is to build. Um, I, I have the most cushiest of the jobs based out of London. I could have gone to New York from there and lived rest of my life. Uh, I chose to come back, and I chose to go back to start from scratch and said, can we build this company again? And I just love to build things, build and make it bigger, larger than life. Then my management mantra is very simple: uh, think, say, and do the same thing. I think biggest problem with most of the people is that they say something else, they do something else, and they think something else. Uh,
Okay.
and if there's no synergy in this, a lot of people ask me, "Are you not stressed? Are you?" Yeah, I'm just living a life which is, as my calendar is open to everybody. I am living a very transparent life. I just don't want to. If I don't know something, I'm very happy to learn at any point of time. April this year, I was in US, and I was one of those guys who are a little skeptical on AI. And I said, I don't know whether education will get impacted with this or not. And then I heard Sam Altman, I heard Khan Academy founder Sal Khan, and this was a GSV event. Then I met a few friends of mine in the Bay Area who are working on AI and non-education. But I was very thrilled, and I said, no, the world has moved. I came back and I was like, guys, let's just all come together, and we need to build something. There's something happening there. We need to also join the party. So I think learning and this continuous learner to remain at the center doesn't go away. And till the time you're learning, you're living, you're growing, you are moving forward. I think that's what leadership is all about. And the second is think, say, and do what you do. There has to be synergy. It can't be broken. Then people see through and then they start doubting the intent.
Yeah. So, I mean, you touched upon AI, and I'm always tempted to ask this question: is that how do you see now, I mean, especially within EdTech space, within education, what's the future of education with AI, if I may ask you so?
I saw a glimpse of it in 2019 in China. I was in Microsoft China office as a guest, and I saw a glimpse of it. And I think where I see a biggest role. So there are three phases of any AI, and imagine yourself in the today in a house. So you have a plug point, which is called point solution, where one light you can switch on, switch off. I think what most of us are doing now is solving one doubt, giving one as advice. They're all point solutions. But imagine if you have the house and you have the main meter, which you can switch off, switch on the whole house. I think that's what we call it application solution. So the overall subject wise learning. So for zoology or botany, for chemistry, there's still some challenges in math, so I'm avoiding math as a subject. But I think the way AI is moving, next few months we will be talking about math as well. There's a lot of progress happening very fast. So then these big subjects become, so you're correlating topic, subtopic, making mistakes, and then correlating why this mistake happened, when did you last make this similar kind of mistake, and stuff like that. But what is most exciting for me personally, and what I saw in China, and I think we can do something like that in India as well. uh, you saw that series called Kota Factory by any chance?
Yeah, yeah,
And there's a character called
yeah,
Jitu Bhaiya.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
in a kind of test prep segment we are, and there's ups and
Mhm,
downs. You
mhm,
always need a mentor. You need
mhm,
somebody around you to say that हो जाएगा,
mhm,
ये वाला अच्छा था. I think that's the critical thing. What we are trying to say is that, can mentorship be done by AI? Because it's just so physically impossible. Think that
okay.
every child you can motivate, but imagine if that character has all your data and all your peers' data available. He's all continuously finding one great blip of strength which you have, saying that in your class only 5% of the people could do the fifth question right, you are one of them. So
Mhm,
even if you have not done very well, this information can make you happy.
mhm,
If that character can become live, can become voice to start with, and finally maybe an AI character which is with the child throughout this 2 year journey, helping the child to say that tomorrow's the exam, study this chapter. uh, you have not done good today, you should do this 4 or 5 things. I think these are very small things. People have to experience what I'm saying, but I experienced it in China, to say that this character was doing 15 to 20 conversations, and not a good day. Okay, the exam happened, I'm very sad. Conversation starts, finds a small blip of strength or great thing. I think that's where the AI in next 2 years time in education is going to happen, because that's the costliest piece as well. So whosoever cracks it will have a better management of operational costs.
okay, that's a very fascinating way of looking at how AI can play a role in the overall learning journey. Great, Ujjwal. Thanks a ton. This was really insightful, and your leadership journey, your company's take on how it is leading the education innovation, if I may say so. Thank you for joining this talk.
Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate. Thank you so much.
See you. Bye.
See
Thanks.
you. Bye.